Well guys, it appears that it is one of these videos again we're gonna make. So, just like a few hours ago, this Google document was dropped about EvilToaster. Who is EvilToaster, you might ask? Well, that's a good question, and I'm gonna answer that question in a bit. So, this guy is a VTuber, but not only that, he's also a Twitch ambassador, and he was the one who, how do I put this? Tried to, well, not tried to, but, was advocating for the Knock Knock feature on Twitch. Funnily enough, he received a lot of backlash for that, and then had a meltdown on Twitter. Yeah, and now we have this Google document. We'll just go over the entire document. It is 57 pages. So yeah, let's prepare. Let's get into this. We'll just read this slowly but surely, cause this is wild. Like, this is some arena type level shit. Let's get into it. The many stories of those manipulated, hurt, and cornered by EvilToaster, his constant overbearing and unwanted intimate behavior towards others, his forceful entry past boundaries, and more. So essentially, this Google document will be about Toaster being very, very weird with women. It is funny. Also shout out to, wait a minute, who was it? I need to check that real quick. Underthetea podcast. That includes... Wait a minute, I need to open that up, because I want to give the proper shoutouts, because that's how I found this even, because of these guys. Shout out to LuminousCove, MizuhanaOshibe, and MommaOcco. And obviously the Underthetea podcast. So yeah, let's get into this. Disclaimer. The following document was not made to incite harassment, to harm anyone involved. Rather, its purpose is to highlight EvilToaster's repeated behavior of controlling others, disregarding and overstepping boundaries, dismissing valid criticism, and generally preying on women with content creation. We want to bring awareness to his repeated behavior to help others who may have experienced this and not realizing his manipulation, prevent more people from falling victim to him, and keep a public account of all experiences. While most of the people in this document are women, femi-presenting, we also want to note that men, masculine-presenting people have also been affected that are not in this document, and probably many more that have not yet spoken to me publicly. First of all, if you come across this video and you have experiences with this guy, creepy experiences, and you are a man or woman, whoever, reach out. Not to me, but we'll keep this secret. Your name will not be, you will not be named. Otherwise, reach out to the people I mentioned before. I think Kirsche also said that you can reach out to her. Just to mention that. Let's go. Power dynamics. What's most important to keep in mind while reading through this document is the power imbalance between Toaster and the women they interact with. The problem is that he is a Twitch ambassador, and because he is a Twitch ambassador, I could assume that some of these women, may fear that it has consequences for them if they reject his advances. Just to mention that. Where was I? Toaster and the women they interact with. In the content creation space, EvilToaster is connected to a lot of public figures with numbers backing them. That I think Zentreya, is it Zentreya, like the VTuber who uses like text to speech for talking. Beyond that, these public figures are incredibly respected within the community. People rarely speak out about how Toaster acts behind the scenes because they do not want to burn bridges with people associated with him. When people have spoken out, EvilToaster purposefully ignores any and all drama so as to not call attention to it, except when it's the Twitch ambassador shit that he, like the new feature, then he gets cooked. Where was I? However, behind the scenes, he consistently badmouths people that he feels wrong them to set high-profile content creators. This is widely known behind the scenes, so people have valid reasoning to thinking they would be ostracized by a good portion of the VTubing community if they if they ever spoke out about his actions. If people are scared to even speak out against Toast, it's not difficult to understand why people give him the benefit of the doubt and let him push boundaries that they normally would not. I hope this helps people understand why this document is necessary and how he is harming the VTubing community as a whole. I think because of the knock knock feature, it is possible to assume that he would actually abuse that system, because again, he's a Twitch ambassador, and why would you want to reject a Twitch ambassador? Twitch ambassador situation. Let's get down to this. EvilToaster is currently under the scrutiny for belittling other content creators for disagreeing with this proposed Twitch feature, knock, and ignoring people's rightful criticism, going so far as to mock the situation in his Twitch title when he went live the following day. As of writing this, there's still no mention of the backlash he's faced or an apology of his original remarks anywhere. This is a public presentation of his typical behavior to dismiss people's feelings, problems with him, as well as never taking accountability for his actions, words. Yeah, he threw like a absolute temper tantrum about this criticism. It is ridiculous. My personal experience. I'm including my personal experience with EvilToaster because I want people to know I am not impartial when it comes to EvilToaster. The Twitch ambassador situation is a completely separate incident, and I would have commented on anyone's demeaning words towards a community they're meant to represent. But it also further proved to me that EvilToaster will never take accountability for what he's done behind closed doors, if he won't even do it for a public instance. Regarding intimacy and boundaries, EvilToaster and I became fast friends about 2 years ago. Yeah, you better pick the right friends, I guess. I thought Toaster was an amazing person, kind, intelligent, and giving. However, looking back, I fear I was under quite a bit of manipulation regarding Toaster. One of these things Toaster will tell to anyone is that he craves affection, mostly from women, from what I've seen. Mostly from women, it's not, but it's even far worse. Let's be real, it's even far worse. Well, first of all, it's important to notice that he is not a good person. He went after people when the whole Hogwarts Legacy thing happened. Let's remember that. He is not a good person. He is not. Oh, we have a tweet. So let's read that tweet. By EvilToaster. Every convention is another reminder that I'm not one of the girlies, and I'm never gonna get the kind of treatment and affection they give each other, even though I try to connect with them. I've gotten better at dealing with that fact over time, but it still hurts to think about it. Well, first of all, you are a man. You will never be one of the girlies. Women treat each other differently. Women do not treat men the same. Why would they? It'd be weird. This is just so silly. This tweet makes zero sense. Girls don't treat men like girls. Men don't treat girls like men. What the fuck? Okay, let's read this. Let's read this. Okay. This is a Discord message. I need to zoom in. I'll make sure that I'll get everything, because this is a little small for me, so I need to zoom in. So, yeah, let's read this. I think this is Discord, definitely. I know what you mean, and I'm glad for that. Honestly, I think I do good in trying to be like that. And I'm not escaping the man class position anytime soon. So it's still important to me for that, to be better for that. But no matter what, I always... Wait, I need to... Hopefully you can see this, because... Wait a minute, I need to check. Yeah, you can see this. You can see this. Because, yeah, this is a bit chaotic. But no matter what, I always am just going to notice the small kind of ways people want to be closer, to close me off because of how I am perceived by them. Or by society. Which is just gonna make me think more about how things would be different otherwise. Who would I be closer? Closer to? Who I would be closer to. Now, who would let me tell them more of my feelings? Who would let me touch them? My brother in Christ. There's so many instances of this just seeing in front of me through my whole life, when people I'm generally good friends with will stop me at a point where they let women they know less go past. I can't really hate anyone for it. I just hate the game, but who doesn't? What are you yapping about? What the fuck are you yapping about, man? Let's read this next thing. He also expressed this sentiment to me many times at the beginning of our relationship. As you can see above, he desperately wanted intimacy with women, which he framed as casual, saying I love you, calling people wife, generally wholesome flirting. I don't think that calling somebody your wife, if you're not close with them in that way, is normal behavior. Sorry, this is not wholesome flirting. I don't know where you got that idea from. This turns out not to be true, which you can read in the entirety of this doc. Even in the screenshot above, he says, "Who will let me touch them?" Weird thing to say. I also want to point out that toaster undersets they're seen as a man and have, as they call it, a man class position. You are a man. You're not seen as a man. You are one. He likes to say he's aware of this, but then continues to pressure women despite knowing he's not one of the girlies, and frankly, it isn't because of his gender or his perceived gender, but because of how he constantly pushes boundaries and makes people, mostly women, uncomfortable. This is also about his gender. It is a biological impulse to treat men different. Just like men also treat women different. As a flirtatious person, I was fine flirting with him casually. However, I was in a relationship and I told him that if I thought or my boyfriend thought anything was too far, I would put a stop to it. Toaster responded, pictured below. We'll zoom in. Zoom in. Okay. Lol, what do you mean? This is the one writing this document. If we get too close and wanted more, we'd both have to deny ourselves something we'd want to explore. Jesus Christ. Yes, I'm capable of doing that. A crush is just a crush, and anything more is easy to cease because compared to the relationship I have now, there's no reason to want another when it jeopardizes this one. I see. What are you thinking? I'm just thinking it would be a shame if it came to a point where we had to hold ourselves back, is all. So far, I don't feel like I've had to hold back anything, which has been an incredible, great, and refreshing feeling for a new friend, so I value that a lot. I value you a lot for that. It's just comfortable. I hope you can still value me despite the potential need to deny yourself something and condition yourself. I value you even as just a fellow creator, yes, but the connection beyond that is so far is very unique to me. And so wait, to me. So it's hard to not want to explore, which is why I asked things like that. What are you yapping? Jesus Christ, this is so creepy. But I'm not gonna do anything you don't want me to do, or anything. I'm getting so much from you already, the way things are, so it's not like I'm dissatisfied or anything. This is so weird. This is weird ass behavior. This is so weird, this shit. This shit is so weird, Jesus. Oh my god, is this weird. This shit is so fucking weird. Reading this is so fucking weird. I clearly set a boundary here, and Toaster says we'd both have to deny ourselves something we'd want to explore. You deny this completely, so I don't know what he's yapping about. But I literally say it's easy to seize because there's no reason to want another person or relationship. I wanted to let Toaster know I really admired his intelligence and kindness, and while we saw this friend crush as something more than it was, I still expressed to him that I did not want him in any way. I just use that term with a lot of my friends as a way to express admiration. Later on, I expressed to him how men in the past have left me as a friend because they know they won't get anything more out of me. He says he won't, but then says, a harsh truth that a lot of women have to learn is that a lot of dudes are friends with you because they find you attractive. That's just the way it is. That's the same why a lot of VTubers react weird and confused if they lose their viewership because they announce that they're in a relationship. There is a reason for that. Okay, more Discord messages. I don't think my brain can take it. I think I'm gonna take a break eventually. While again, I'm fine with not going past any boundary, you decide of how close we should be. Also, I do hope that you don't end up in a situation where you want to be closer, but you either feel like you can't or are forced not to. I'm not sure how likely that would be, or how likely we'd even get to that level in the first place. What are you yapping about? She made sure that she said herself that she is not interested in you like that, my guy. What are you pushing? But I just wouldn't want you to be in a situation where you felt wait a minute. I need to zoom a little closer because I am not seeing this. This is weird in a weird format. I'm gonna zoom out a little because maybe I need to move something a bit. Here, I'm gonna move that a little. I'm gonna maybe turn that a bit smaller because you guys cannot see this. This is very much awkward, but it is what it is. Now it should be fixed. Perfect. If I zoom in now, I should be able to read all of this. Okay. But I just wouldn't want you to be in a situation where you felt like you had to hold back. Holding back feels hard times, I guess. Even I still feel like I have to, but I'm obviously not holding it back as much as I have in the past. With others. Thank God. Do not, you disgusting little freak, do not put God in this, first of all. You're a disgusting, we'll talk about that later, he's a disgusting little freak. I just want to have what you want, whatever that is or will be. And I just fear from you've talked about, I just fear from you've talked about it, that there's a possible outcome, well, you'll be told to distance from me, and neither of us may want it. I wouldn't leave you if that happened, of course, but I would be sad. Again! Your behavior is very weird. It is weird. It is very, very, very weird. It is very, very, very weird. It is super weird. It is next level weird. It is weirder than I would want it to be. It is weirder, very weird. Good God. While he assures me it's fine, he flips it on to me again and says that it would be sad if I had to further set more boundaries. But of course, this is for my sake and not his. Talking about others. Next chapter. Pushing boundaries is typical for Toaster. Further on into our friendship, I brought up how uncomfortable I was with the way he talked about women. Some names are omitted for anonymity. Okay, let's zoom in this again. I think we have to talk about women bothers. I think the way you talk about women bothers me. What, why, where? I didn't like how you spoke about Milky once she felt emotional attached towards us. What part of it? Then you talked about Kisa and made a comment about her incapability to say no to other people, which came off bitter to me. Why did that come off as bitter? Because you said she was too popular for you to hang out, so it was hard to make time with her. Okay, evidence proving he said this about Kisa. Okay, we get more, I think. We're gonna get more. We're gonna get way more. First of all, it's weird to say that if she hanged out with you, it's weird to say that she wouldn't want to hang out with you. First of all, that's weird. Oh God. What did I get myself into? Anyways, we'll read all of this. Because I want to spread this more, because this is ridiculous. Like, 57 pages Google document. I'm not ready for this whatsoever. I think you're looking for a romantic relationship rather than a... I think you're looking for a romantic relationship rather than a platonic one. Platonic ones. Or maybe you're feeling the need for close platonic relationships like a best friend. I hardly even have baseline level platonic friendships. Save a few people. And all of those people have massively less time for me than I have for them. CC saying, I'm not sure how to help, Toaster. I don't think there's a way to help. CC, I think therapy will be good once you move out and you're on your own. I already called my therapist. What did they say? 28th probably next week. Good. I might be able to hang out with Gisa tomorrow afternoon, assuming no one snatches her up for anything. Are you talking about me specifically, lol? Even more. Are you talking about me specifically, lol? It was unfortunate I didn't even get to play Apex with her yesterday. While funny coincidence, since that's happened like 3 times, no actually. Trying to schedule anything with her is hard because she's so popular. And I don't think she's the type to say no, which is concerning in itself. Let's zoom out again so you get the full screen. Perfect. I always need to check like if you guys can see all, because right now you can't. And I want to make sure you see this garbage everywhere, because I'm gonna zoom out a little. Now you can see everything again. Whoop, I closed it. I'm a silly man. This is the first time doing this. Should probably done this on stream, to be fair. As for what Milky experienced, Toaster talked to me about her and him becoming intimate. What the fuck? Although, the way he had portrayed their intimacy differed greatly from what was actually occurring. He's a schizo! He's hearing the voices! The way he had portrayed their again. Toaster had mentioned having the possibility of a relationship with Milky and becoming more intimate. However, Milky had only ever expressed friendship and the platonic intimacy that comes from that. Any emotional attachment that's strictly platonic. And all mentions of a relationship were simply those of friendship. She had never encouraged or communicated to Toaster that it would be anything more than a friendship. The way he portrayed his dynamic. So he is in fact listening to the voices in his head. That's insane. With Milky was grossly misrepresented and instead was grossly misrepresented and instead was expressed in a very different light than how it actually was. I'm not gonna zoom it now. I'm just gonna, try and read it from here. Wait, I have a better idea, in fact. I have a better idea. Ha! Open it on my phone. Now I can read it out without zooming in constantly and removing your stuff, so you don't have to feel be weird about it. Okay, so EvilToaster saying in this screenshot from Discord, I would have played today, but I was showering with Milky. Ayo, what the fuck? This turned weird as fuck. Never mind. You were what? We showered at the same time. While on call and talked in the shower. I'm praying for you. Love, praying for what? Just in general. I'm more worried for her now than myself personally. Yeah? Yeah. She admits she's attached to me and is kinda upset about the fact because she doesn't like being vulnerable. But I don't mind it right now. Context, man. Context. Why did you post it this way? Jesus Christ. What even? Toaster often talked about Milky and how much comfort and intimacy she brought him, but how it made him defensive because he wasn't used to it. Despite this, he was still fine for it to continue and often expressed how nice it was for him to enjoy what Milky gave him, all without returning her feelings. And knowing it was hurting her to be more attached than he was, I later learned that this was them. I learned that this was misrepresenting what happened between them. The shower call was just voice, no cam. It's clear that Toaster wanted a more sexual intimacy with Milky, which you can see later in Milky's experience. We'll go down a little. Wait. Here. Between what? Wait. Did I just make a mistake? No. Between what he said about Milky and Kisa, both people he was romantically interested in, I started to feel weird about it and confronted him. Cook, lady. Cook. Okay, I needed to zoom out a little, I think. You can read this document completely for yourself. I'll probably put a Twitter link to it. You can read this shit. This shit is weird as fuck. I'll be real. Let's get over this stuff. Thank you. So this is EvilToaster again. Thank you. Okay, so for me it read as something that I that didn't really fit my perception of you. I get that. It felt that when you were saying something that you had no intention behind it, it came off to me as if there was more under those words, because in my past a lot of people have had those secondary meanings, and I'm not someone who usually judges anyone at all for more surface level behaviors, because they just don't even come up on my radar. And I've never understood why people are judgmental over weird, minute things like that. I think this is not Toaster. Like the grayed out things. I understand that, and I feel the same. Same really. I never really see people's non-harmful behaviors as a problem or inconvenience. It is just part of who they are. They come up on my radar, not as something to judge them for, or distance myself from them over, but just as part of knowing them and adding it to the pile of things I notice about them. So for you, my friend Toaster, to seemingly suddenly make those comments, I felt very weird, and I think it was all in frame of reference to you branching out to Milky in a more intimate way, and that's why I had that relationship lens on it. In quotations, relationship. Because it felt like you were searching out partners. And it does feel like that, to be fair. It makes sense why you were worried about me at that time, in regards to Milky. I was fully aware going into the connection with Milky that there were circumstances from both our lives that would have some influence over how we approach each other, and I took the initiative to make that very open and clear from both our ends, to ensure nothing too silly would happen, and I think her and I are in a healthy position now because of that. I did go into it thinking there was a possible outcome of her and I progressing into a quote-unquote relationship status, but I didn't consider it a high likelihood or something. The way you behave, I do in fact think that you did in fact consider this a high likelihood. Or something that I was going to pursue at all costs. It was just that the thought that it was possible and being aware of it. And being aware of it in combination with knowing how both her and I were approaching each other, given our circumstances, helped ensuring that our conversations were healthy and helped me know what to communicate. Jesus Christ. What is this? What am I reading? Okay, let's continue this. The code writing here is him copy-pasting what I've said to him and responding to it. Yeah, I thought that was very clear, I guess so. Even here it's clear that Toaster has intentions when getting close to women. He says there was a possible outcome of her and I progressing to a relationship status. A lot of the time, Toaster will go back and forth between never expecting anything from women and a few moments later will admit that he does have expectations. This is some incel type behavior shit, to be fair. This, coupled with the fact that he openly admits that he didn't mind Milky being attached to him and not reciprocated, was a huge red flag to me. It felt like he was using Milky. This is all from limited knowledge. He used her attention. This is all from limited knowledge, as I didn't ask Milky about any of this at the time, since it was her business and I didn't want her to feel like Toaster was talking about her behind her back or I was judging her for being with Toaster. However, the reality of the situation is vastly different from how Toaster depicts it to me, which you can read in Milky's account. Man, this is getting weird as fuck. Oh no, I will read it out. I won't zoom in, but I will read it out for you. Again, the entirety of this document is on, like, Twitter, so you can clearly read it for yourself. But I will read it now, because zooming into these is awful. This is again probably to response of the person writing this document. One thing that I think sparked a reaction in me was you saying trouble. Saying no to anyone about Kisa. Because for me, anyone saying that about a woman is like makes me take a step back, because I feel like that's a very womanly struggle, and for some to comment on it, it felt very personal. Yeah, I can understand that, because it is in fact a womanly struggle. The core issue with this is that women do in fact struggle with saying no, because women are much more likely, I don't want to say it, but women can become useful idiots because they are a lot more caring and social and all that stuff. This is why politicians like to use women for their political gains. Like, the left uses women for their political gains, and the right uses men for their political gains. We are just pawns in this. So yeah, it's good that she points that out, actually. You know, you didn't mean it like that. I know you didn't mean it like that, but it definitely gripped at something in me where I was like, whoa. It just felt charged. Question mark. But I think that's my own anger towards the socialization that leads women to placidity, and for someone who has the societal presence of a man. This is very weird, because it is in fact genetically. It is not just socialization. We can look at like Scandinavia, where they do have the closest, they are the closest to true equality, and women still choose less paying jobs. Women still do get paid less because they do not ask for a raise as much. This is just women being women, which is a little unfortunate, but it is what it is. Commenting on it, in what came off as a frustrated tone, I definitely felt my chest puff out and I got defensive. I understand well that this is a struggle for women, and given Kisa's history, it's likely something she deals with very often. This is, I'm Toaster responding, by the way. When I commented on it, and even just observed it to myself, it was from a point of empathy. However, in the context of the conversation with you, I brought it up as a point that makes it difficult to find more time with her, and how that frustrated me. It didn't frustrate me as something personal from her against me, but more so because it was adding into a pile of connections I have with people where the life circumstances that neither of us have control over have kept us apart. You're totally right to feel angry about, the subjugation of women and all that. And it's not up to me to decide when the effects of that trigger a response from you. The frustrated tone you heard from me was the same frustration you have about it. Because I understand why it happens, I'm angry about it too. While a specific societal dynamic doesn't affect me directly, it does affect the people I care about and makes connection with each other harder for both parties. While it does affect you because people like to spread misinformation on women just being socialized this way when it's just women acting this way naturally. So yeah, you get shit for that for no reason. EvilToaster typically psychoanalyzes people without them ever consenting to this or desiring it. I was incredibly upset that he talked about Kisa in this way, because as a woman, the notion that we have a hard time saying no to people is honestly true. Yeah, it is. But Toaster should have respected that instead of commenting on it out of frustration that she was saying no to him. Whether or not this was true of Kisa, I wasn't particularly close to her at this time, but I also knew Toaster wasn't, so it felt disrespectful for him to say that about her, even as an objective observation, as he liked it to put it. While Toaster did try to resolve this issue, and I originally accepted his stance, looking back on it, it still doesn't sit right with me. Despite Toaster noting that Kisa, I need to look. Wait, okay. Despite Toaster noting that Kisa, according to him, had problems saying no to people, he continued to pressure her to hang out with him. The following is Kisa's experience with Toaster and how she felt about him, the way he treated her. Oh god. Dear god. Please no. Please no. Just please no. This is gonna be awful. This is gonna be really awful. Kisa's experience. Toaster started talking to me more often after finding out about the relationship I left and thought that was a little weird. Because he tried to get in your pants. He's trying to get into everyone's pants. Isn't this the definition of a sex pest? Pushing, like, sexual boundaries? Being sexual for no reason? Toaster. Oh, okay, so where was I? Here. But I just gave him the benefit of the doubt that he's just trying to be nice, since I was going through a hard time. After talking for a bit about what I had gone through, he also shared his experiences with similar past relationship issues, so I just thought he would understand how I was feeling because of the issue he went through. 2. I trusted that he was just being a good friend, because he would listen. He would listen to my venting and offer reassurance about things I was worried about from what I was used to with my ex. Is this the person writing this, or is this Kisa? I think this is Kisa writing this. I could be wrong though. I feel like this is Kisa writing this. I have never really had many friends because my ex would get upset with me if I did. So my social anxiety only got worse from those 8 years. Need to scroll down. Where was I? Because of my social anxiety, I tend to worry that everyone hates me or finds me boring, or like they feel pity for me, or feel obligated to chat with me. Thus I would not hang out with people much, and when people would want to hang out or plan collabs, I would get really shy / nervous and typically find an excuse to not do it. Can't really understand it because I'm not in that position. Toaster quickly started to want to hang out by playing a game together or just voice chat that made me uncomfortable, and given what I wasn't used to, and that he started only chatting with me more after I got out of my past relationship. Again, he wants to get into your pants. I felt like it would be mean to just say that I'm not comfortable with it. So I would just make up an excuse whenever he would ask, until I felt overwhelmed by how often he would keep asking that. I just played with him once to not feel so guilty anymore. But I would tell him that I was busy a lot, but that never stopped him from asking. Then one day, I guess he just got fed up with me not playing with him, that he sent me that long message about how he's trusting me to reach out to him, and that he's using the little amount of energy he has left to keep up with me and chat, plan things to do. And that long message just really didn't sit right with me, because my narcissistic ex would say similar things that would make me feel guilty if I don't do something he's asking of me. I cannot verify that, so we'll just let that sit there. The problem, I hate the word narcissistic because a lot of people use that term, and it's usually not a person being narcissistic, it's just the person being a douchebag, because a lot of people do not know what narcissistic means. Let's scroll further down. Oh no, we have another Discord message. I fear, help me, I'm scared. I then explained to him how what he said was not okay and how it made me feel, to which he apologized. But I didn't feel genuine and like he was only saying it because he didn't want me to stop talking to him. Yeah. I think we have established what kind of person this dude truly is. But I didn't feel genuine. Wait. From then on, I didn't enjoy conversing with him, and we didn't talk much after that happened. Throughout the whole time of talking with him, I had always felt like he wanted more than just a friendship out of it, and the regular comments he left on Twitter on my selfies and comments he made about my voice made me uncomfortable. Oh god. Oh dear god, I don't want to read these screenshots from Discord. Don't. So again, this is EvilToaster. Time. I will let you know ASAP if there's anything to worry about. Kisa is very nice, though I'm gonna try to hang out with her more and help her get acquainted. She's in a similar situation I was in with my ex, where she never had a lot of room to make friends, but now I could really use some, but has no frame of reference for what good friends and friendships are, you know? Siri saying? Yeah, she is super sweet. I'm excited to see her around more. Toaster, did you see the selfie she just posted? Oh yes, saw. Cried, screamed. What the fuck, you... This is so creepy! Why is this motherfucker so creepy? There's more! There's more screenshots! Oh my god, this is more screenshots. Okay, Toaster. Kisa, tell me more fun facts about you. Toaster, the dress is so pretty. Okay, just a stand. The problem is that this would just be a standard, compliment, but in this, in the context now, it's just weird because we know that he's trying to get in her pants. Again, Toaster, depending on if that's the only window of time you think you'll have, I can cut it shorter. Assuming you don't have time now. Kisa, no, I don't want you to cut your stream shorter for me. I just finished exercising and taking photos. I'm sorry. Toaster, what if I want to? Kisa, I would feel bad. I couldn't make time somehow if you cancel for me. Toaster, I'm catching up. This is a different... This seems to be a different screenshot? Yeah. I'm catching up listening to your ASMR stream, and you did very good. Your voice is perfect. Sounds good. We'll find some time. I also saw you singing. You sing very well. Again, these compliments are because he wants to, I need to scroll down so you can see this. These essentially are just these comments are essentially just because he wants to, get in her pants. Which is creepy as fuck. Next chapter, pushing boundaries with Kisa. So it turns out I ended... This is EvilToaster. So it turns out I ended early. Anyway, just because I could use the extra time off. Oh nice! Kisa. Oh nice! Did you want to play Valorant with me? If not, that's okay. You can relax too. EvilToaster. Yeah, let me hear back from Zen. She wants to Apex, but I don't think I'm ranking today. But maybe she's up for pub trios, and you can come join. If not, yeah, I'll play Valor. If you feel like playing with Zen, then that is otherwise, yeah, I'll log into Valor. Kisa, I unfortunately don't have Apex on my little bro's PC, and the internet is a bit slow here, so the download would take a bit. But you and Zen can play Apex. Okay, logging into Valorant then. I checked your mutual friends to see who I could invite for collabs later, and it's just CC. I guess I'll plan for that sometime in the future. Why are you specifically checking out our friends? This is weird. Yeah, I don't have too many Twitter peeps on Discord. Me neither, to be fair. Would you like... Toaster, would you like to game in a bit before you have to go set up this show? Kisa, I'm sorry, I'm probably just gonna relax before stream since I get super nervous about the timing of things. Where am I? There I am. Okay. I'm going to sleep. Why are you writing that? I'm gonna throw a temper tantrum. We hang out in the afternoon, yes? Kisa, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I think I'll probably be streaming this afternoon. Frog emoji. Fuck the frog emoji. This is so weird. EvilToaster, when you say afternoon, what time do you mean? Kisa, at 7 PM EST, and before then I'll be exercising and getting some work done. Frog emoji. Edited frog emoji. More screenshots, holy hell. Are you gaming capable tonight, Toaster? I'm glad you have a good turnout. Kisa, is this? I'm currently playing with a friend who is need of someone to vent to at the moment. I'm sorry. That is okay. I hope it is going well. Are you doing anything tomorrow afternoon? And when I say afternoon, I mean like from 12 PM to 6 PM range. It's mostly be working on stuff and hanging out with some friends, and later in the day I have a collab. Okay, when is your next availability? I'm not sure. Oh wait, I can scroll this from this. I didn't even know that. We can clearly tell that from what we've been reading for now, she tries to avoid him. She's uncomfortable. We can tell. I'm not sure because I want to stream again this week, but I haven't planned it out yet. Eventually, Kisa tried to stop him from initiating hangouts and told him, she'd be the one to approach him. And guess what? He didn't do that. I mean, it doesn't gotta be this week. But I get super nervous planning things. I understand. Is there something I could do or some other way to go about it that you prefer? I know you said to just keep checking up, but it seems you aren't left with a lot of free time right now. I didn't want to stress you out. What if I'm the one who plans it? Does that make it easier instead of asking you when the best time is? I felt it would be less stressful if I just approached you whenever I'm able to play. Will you do that? Frog emoji. He immediately doubts this will happen, but goes beyond and says the following picture below. Oh no, I want to read this. I need to zoom in on the phone because I don't wanna. Okay. Toaster. Okay. I'm letting you know I'm putting a lot of trust in you for that. Not to make it more stressful. But as I wrote about on Twitter yesterday, I'm dealing with the increasingly smaller ratio of people I know to people who actually reach out to me and ask me to do things and connect, which means I just have limited energy remaining to do all the work if scheduling and organizing is just keeping up with everyone. Because frankly, not many people message me on any given day. Which also is big because you're one of the people I'm spending that energy for right now to keep up with you and chat and find to do things. Well, first of all, this feels very weird because why would you behave this way? Also, why is you're making it seem like she is draining your energy? So frankly, if you just want to come to me to Moment, you have time that actually be better for both of us. It's just surprising to me because no one really does that for me. I'm just both excited for that, but also worried if that'll actually happen. But you don't seem like one to just not do a thing they'd say they do. So yeah, just keep me updated. And it seems we're both staying up to 6 AM lately, so don't be afraid to poke me this late either. So this is weird behavior. This is very weird. Let's continue. This is putting an immense amount of pressure, it is in fact, on someone who Toaster believes has a hard time saying no to begin with. Again, he is trying to get in her pants. Why is Toaster pushing these boundaries on someone he thinks is vulnerable to people pleasing? Psychoanalyzing others without their consent. This ties into overstepping boundaries. Toaster has an affinity for judging of others. He explains that it's his way of observing, and the assumption he makes about these observations can be harmful to others. This is the same people that self-diagnose others. They look at others and tell them, yo, you have autism, you have ADHD. And it gets already mentioned, I've already seen that. Toaster often diagnoses people with neurodivergent disorders like ADHD and autism without their consent and pressures them to identify with these descriptors. Beyond this, he also talks about people most likely having these disorders with other people. Jesus Christ. Oh god. A Discord message. Oh no, a Discord message. Let's read this. Toaster. Yeah, wants to take me up on VOD reviews though, so finally someone at least. That's sweet. This is Siri. EvilToaster. I do know how well it would go though. She's not very inquisitive person. She's not a very inquisitive person, I'm sensing. You might be surprised. I already helped her fix her OBS setup, and she talked to ask 0 questions. And every time I checked to make sure she understood, because she would say or okay, she was like, no, I don't understand. I think most people are like that, but I notice it because when people actually seek out understanding, it says a lot about them. And then a fucking frog emoji. The fucking frog emoji is gonna break me eventually. This was a good friend of mine. While I understand Toaster didn't mean this with ill intent, it still rubbed me the wrong way because I didn't like that he was insinuating that people ask questions, are curious, are better than people who don't. I felt like it was a weird thing to judge them on or judge them in general. I think this relates to how he believes he can judge others and not face consequences. As seen when Kisa and other women have problems saying no to people, and in his lashing out during the Twitch ambassador situation. Oh god, this another Discord message. She's at Offkai, but she didn't tell me she was going. She didn't really tell anyone except a couple of friends, and she also wasn't invited by anyone. There's a lot of reasons why, but I know she just doesn't really want to admit she doesn't want her partner to feel insecure. He's already said he's felt insecure about me, and she said, no, this is not, from the context we right now have, this is not insecurity. Her partner is not insecure. He sees you as trouble, because you are trouble. And she said in the past she's compromising keeping things to herself for his sake, and it just makes me sad, and I'm just not really the person that can call that out. She's slowly unlearning people pleasing, but I fear she will let herself go, her whole life being content with compromising herself. She's not compromising herself, she's being respectful to her partner. But of course, a virgin who does not know, who has never felt the touch of a woman, would understand this. Oh god. More Discord shit. Wait, I slipped down. This is where I wanted to read. Again, he's talking about a woman in a relationship with a friend of mine and is upset she didn't tell him she was going to Off-Kai, and finds it a problem that her boyfriend is insecure about him, and all of this adds up to people pleasing for him and not valid reasons to take distance, protect her relationship, which he did. And he also did, which is why he does not want you close to her, because men can tell if other men want to get in the pants of your girlfriend. We can tell. We can tell that. When I was friends with Toaster, one of the things he talked to me about was neurodivergency and autism. I want to point out that I'm still incredibly new to the VTuber scene at this point and was familiar with autism through my younger sister, who is diagnosed. My father also suspected he was on the spectrum, being new to the scene and not fully understanding how society views people with autism. I was pretty excited to talk to someone who seemed to know a lot about it. He does not know a lot about it. As we talked more, he started to file things I said or did into his folder of autistic tendencies, and later introduced me to online tests to see if I was autistic. This reminds me of like, you know, like the gay tests everywhere back then. This reminds me of that. Oh God, no more Discord messages. I'm going to lose my brain. Siri, you think I did well? Being a human and talking to other humans? Yeah, you did. Do you often examine your ability to appear and interact as a normal human? This conversation is weird. If I see something I don't understand, I usually look it up, especially words. No shit. No shit. No shit. Of course. Because you want to understand the meaning. I'm not gonna get this in 2 hours. I used to stop reading just to look up a word I didn't know. It makes sense. Because a teacher I admired told us to do, and I really loved English. I also do that. This has nothing to do with autism. I just do that because I want to get the meaning behind things, so I don't understand anything wrong. Nice. Anyway, if you want to take some recommend, this motherfucker just recommended an Asperger's, an autism test. Jesus Christ. I think I was partial to the RAAADSR and Aspi quiz, but some of them are a bit more tailored to unique experiences if you like taking quizzes. Why would you do that? I was grateful to him for introducing me to a side of myself that I hadn't acknowledged or explored, but I was also naive to believe that this was entirely normal. I like to believe that people with autism weren't ostracized by society, and that being vocal about being autistic was safe. But that was incredibly naive of me. I thought Toaster was helping myself and others by bringing up their potential neurodivergency, but now I see doing so without consent and publicly is incredibly dangerous and disrespectful. I deeply regret and apologize for my ignorance on this. There's no need to apologize. Autism is not really that much of a topic in general, like inside society. If somebody is autistic, a lot of people probably wouldn't notice because people are so out there these days. Here are instances where Toaster has spoken about people being neurodivergent to me or others. Oh god. Oh my god. This is... let's hope this is not going into any sexual way, because I have a feeling it will. Then you're doing great. By the way, is totally hot, people. I want to punch something. Right before I said this is gonna go into some sexual, like, way, this is gonna go in some sexual way. People with autism are just people with autism. This is not hot people. What do you have, an autism fetish? This is making me angry, actually. Hot people radar off the charts. My favorite tale. You want to take the hot people test. It's and people hate me for saying we should gatekeep the VTuber community. I am saying gatekeep your hobbies like their life, your hobby depends on it. Jesus Christ. This is a disgusting little man. And he's also balding, I think. Also, I totally get what you mean by, like, confused about why she scored low on the hot people test, but I think I understand why. There's no way she's neurotypical. Do you know, like, what she does? Her jobby job? Are you a doctor trained in that field? Are you? Because I don't think you are. I think I now know what the evil stands for in your name. This is about Milky, my friend who has never talked to Toaster before about autism ADHD. I was the only one who brought it up to him because she and I look the autism test together. Took the autism test together. I was surprised she didn't score similar to mine, but I realized now that was problematic of me. And while she was just trying to relate to my friend, while I was just trying to relate to my friend, I see that I was influenced by Toaster's obsession with autism and neurodivergency, and that I do not need to relate to people through sharing an autism diagnosis the way he wants to. He has an autism fetish. He fetishizes that. Jesus Christ. I started to become confused as to why EvilToaster, evil literally, will bring up other people's personal life to me, and why he had to push his thoughts on ADHD autism onto everyone he met within the community. Well, first of all, I need to call you out. Why do you bring up autism, ADHD in the same context as your friend? This is not something you talk about with another person. This is very private. I do not get that. Where was I? I'm just gonna continue to read from here. I started to become confused as to why EvilToaster would bring other people's life to me, and why he had to push his thoughts into everyone else within the community. Okay, I read that already. While at first I thought he was helping me, realizing a part of myself, I slowly understood that he did this to nearly everyone, and it was more about him finding connections to at the expense of others than ever helping people. I think he has a fetish, but this is just me. Oh god, no more. I was hanging out with blank. How did it go? Pretty good. She's picking up Apex pretty well. She passed the hot people test, and she started NGE. The following is from a friend who was very Wait, I need to zoom this in. Venting about insecurities, to which Toaster replied, "Well, I have great news for you. Almost all the other VTubers are autistic too." What are you yapping about? The majority of VTubers are not autistic. What is he yapping about? What is the slime princess asking? What is this peasant talking about? Well, I have great... the person he's speaking to, Anon2, does not identify as autistic, and it was incredibly unfair to him to take all that they were venting about, dismiss their feelings, and continue to say they were autistic and they shouldn't worry about it because everyone is. The majority of people in the VTuber community are not mentally ill. I refuse to believe that. The majority of people in this community are not neurodivergent. What is this sex pest yapping about? Oh god, this is a wall of text, holy wall of text. But I will try to read this. Which one was it? This one. Oh god. Oh god. Holy wall of text. We will read this. EvilToaster. I don't know. I think my problem is, I don't know how much of it is she doesn't want others to think we're a thing, and how much of she doesn't want me to think we're a thing. But also knowing Nia, there is a very good likelihood she isn't even thinking about this, and is it all because her head is empty? My brother in Christ, there's not much going on in your head either. Meanwhile, my neurons are constantly firing. I don't think so. There's nothing going on. You know the guy who, like, most of his brain was gone, just the brainstem. This is him now. Should have stopped him. Kaiser, LMAO. If she's bothered by it, I'm sure she'd let you know, right? You would think, but I do not know. I constantly tell her and remind her to let me know if there's any kind of discomfort coming from me, and she says I'm 100% fine. But from watching her in past experiences with other people, I just am not sure she would hold herself to that. E.g., some random viewer constantly harassing her in her chat and DMs acting like her boyfriend, and she just kinda let him exist and responded to him nicely, even though he was killing the vibes. It took my mod team telling her it was making chat uncomfortable for her to do something. Kaiser, I don't know. I would like to think it'd be different from a VS as a render, but EvilToaster, yeah, but I don't know for sure how Nia sees me. Like, I still don't get how like, for everyone else, Nia's like super cheerful and happy and supportive and shows love and kisses to everyone, and then I'm around and she's just like not even remotely like that. I wonder why she isn't like that. I'm positive she doesn't even notice she does that, because the more I learn about her, the more I realize she just legit isn't thinking about it. But I don't know how, because I haven't talked about that dynamic specifically. And I feel like she holds back that kind of sentiment. Unintentionally, but I don't know. And I don't know how to... And I don't know... It's so weird, because literally, like, I don't have this fear with anyone else. Like, Blank and I are getting closer, and I feel like we could talk about whatever at this point. But every time I try to have a deeper conversation with Mia, I almost feel like she's deflecting it, but I'm also almost sure she's just that unaware that that's what I'm trying to do. She just doesn't want you, bro. And cannot pick up on the fact that I'm trying to talk about something important like that. Because she's literally the most autistic person I've met. My god. Which of course is beautiful to me. Motherfucker is absolutely and utterly a degenerate. He is 100%, I'm gonna say this, 100% a autistic fetish lover. But I feel like I'll only ever get through it. I just force her to pay attention and hold her eyeballs and open and speak directly to her face while speaking very, very, very literally. Jesus Christ, okay. This last screenshot is incredibly problematic. Toaster says someone's head is empty, he enforces his own thoughts on what this person should do about the chatter, gets his mod team involved, and then questions why this person isn't loving towards him, but is to others. He also openly talks about how this person is autistic to someone else, even when the person in question is not diagnosed or identifies with this diagnosis. Apart from autism ADHD, Toaster also reveals personal information to people that most likely shouldn't be shared, while the person he talks about is okay with his behavior, and I feel compelled to talk about it vaguely out of respect for anonymity and privacy, because the information is incredibly personal, and that he's talking about this with people he barely knows, Kisa and NN1. I can also imagine what personal information he'll share about others or in the future. It is incredibly unsafe, especially in the VTubing community. You can see him talk about it, albeit consented here. I wish I could say that he's changed from 2022, but as this document proves, this is repeated behavior that is still current. Annan's experience. Pushing boundaries. The individual wants to stay anonymous. Please respect that. EvilToaster collabed with this person a handful of times, but always wanted to hang out with them alone. They were uncomfortable about this because Toaster was incredibly pushing boundaries, but was already pushing boundaries, waiting them to open up to him, as well as making intimate comments towards them. Jesus Christ. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. We're getting more Discord messages. I'm not gonna zoom in, but I'll read them out. Again, you can read this document for yourself. Can you please... EvilToaster, can you please tell me why this is so difficult? It has never been an issue to get into a collab for you, or to show up to a collab, or anything in general, and those are not easy things for most people. I just want to talk to you and call and hang out and do literally anything with no expectations, so we can be closer friends. And I've been trying for months, and it feels like you are irresponsible to the prospect. What is the barrier? Unresponsible. Unresponsive. This is just really pixeled for me to read. Unresponsive, I think, does this mean? Should be. What is the barrier? Blank. Just talking about my issues has never been easy for me, like at all. It's a lot to unpack. And when And then when I start feeling better, I don't want to talk about it. It's an avoidance system. It's ass, I think? I'm just an awkward person, EvilToaster. We don't even have to talk about it first. I just want to spend time with you. Over time, it will become easier. I'm not trying to tell you that I'm hot shit or anything, but just from an outside in perspective, I'm picking up the vibe that your tendency to spread yourself thin for everyone, your feelings of pressure to not leave anyone out, to respond to everyone, to say hi to everyone, etc. Leaves you in a situation when the people in your life that are actively trying to help you thrive, cough cough, I cannot read that, and not getting enough time with you for you to actually feel like you are cared about. Oh my god. Maybe I have it wrong, but it is simply a pattern I see too often, and I always kind of just leave it at that and be like, well, okay, guess gotta step back. Wait, guess I gotta stop here. But I don't want to do that to you, so I am simply trying this new strategy of telling you this instead, because the alternative is this permanent read blog. I thought, and then bunch of emojis. Okay, Blank, you're just gonna have to straight up tell me what you want from me, because I don't get it. I explained that I was going to be gone. Thursday, Friday. I'll be real, I don't know why you're under the impression I want something from you. I think I've been clear in saying that I struggle with opening up and talking about deeper issues. Continuing to press these matters definitely doesn't help. There's more. There's more. There's more. There's way more. We are half through, by the way. I don't want to press you to a point where it's uncomfortable, but I haven't felt certain on where it is uncomfortable for you and where you need to where you need the repeated attention to know I'm genuinely interested in talking to you and ensuring you aren't worrying about me just being nice or anything. My brother in Christ, you are making them uncomfortable. Why do you not go out of your way? Why do you go out of your way to talk to them? If you make them uncomfortable, they already don't want it. It is very abundantly clear that they don't want to talk to you. I'm not under the impression you want something from me. That's not what I meant. But I do want to know what you want me to do for you, because on one hand, you've expressed you're lonely and that you want to spend time with me. Two feelings I reciprocate. However, it's been a struggle to get any time to try connect with you outside of collabs where there are more people involved. You've admitted you're a people pleaser, and really hope you don't feel like you have to act that way for me, because it makes it difficult to know if you're telling me things like how you want to spend time together because you are trying to be kind, opposed to saying what you might actually feel that you are not super interested in that. They aren't. You haven't struck me as dishonest or anything towards me, but it's tough to navigate knowing this is a struggle for you. Again, though truly I am not trying to do anything that would make you uncomfortable, I'm only trying to reaffirm to you that I mean it when I say I want to be there for you to help you deal with the things you're struggling with. Even if that means just being around and hanging out with you to get to know you better and say the eggs of wait, I cannot read that. Eggs of loneliness without talking about the big issues. Of course, I won't make you do anything you want to do. I won't make you do anything you don't want to do. Just want to know what you want me to do for you. I want to help you and I'm asking for directions. I know it may also be difficult for you to ask for help, and I understand the feeling of needing to feel like you can take care of things yourself. So yeah, that's what I mean by asking you to just talk to me what you want from me. I know you've gone through a lot and I don't want you to feel stuck and lonely. If you don't know what you need, that's okay. I'm trying to figure it out and stay present around you to make it not so easy for the comfortable loneliness to make you feel like you should push friends away. But ultimately, I do not know anything about what makes connecting a struggle for you, and I'm just trying what I feel is right to help you. So I guess just tell me how much help you want. If you don't want no, tell me you're okay with me trying to find out. I said I won't pressure you to do something you flat out tell me you don't want to do, but things that are difficult to do that you still want are things I want to help you have. I just don't want to end up becoming distant and going back to not talking for a year. I'm sorry, I haven't responded. Your message was a lot to process, and I just haven't had the mental bandwidth whatsoever. I also don't have the mental bandwidth whatsoever. Jesus Christ, what a wall of text. Let's continue. I want to take a moment to point out that Toaster says not to say I'm hot shit, and then says that he is offering something almost no one else in her life is, as he assumes, which is incredibly disrespectful and harmful because this person was susceptible to manipulation. This would make them want to let Toaster in, even though they do have a support group outside of them. Toaster spammed this person multiple days in a row, despite knowing they'd be gone and unable to respond. Beyond that, they bring up the person being a people pleaser, which is weird that he understands this, but continues to pressure them and make it incredibly stressful for them to not only hang out with him, but provide sensitive information about trauma and mental health. He also did this with Kisa, as seen above. Yep, we have seen that. Unrequited interest. Oh god. Another one. There is another one. Blank. I'm sorry to hear that. There's nothing worse than when you're not really sure where you stand in a relationship and things go unresolved. Like, it's nice to finally get the closure, in a sense, but it doesn't take away from all the hurt you're going to feel still. Next year, I promise to give you so many hugs at a convention. Do not hug him! Don't say that! Do not hug him! He's a sex pest! I would love to hug and cuddle you at the convention. Oh god. Though I didn't plan on going to TwitchCon. Blank. No, not this year. Unfortunately, I cannot afford it, and I want to get back into going to the gym and taking care of myself next year. And that sucks. It's really a rough situation, and she was in. I'm glad her intentions weren't malicious or anything, but it still sucks that y'all both had to go through this and not really have the relationship you both wanted. EvilToaster, yeah, I was looking forward to meeting you this year, honestly. I will look forward to the next year too, though. EvilToaster, I would love to cuddle and tell you how pretty you are and watch the VTuber Armored Core 6 lore video together. Blank, I wouldn't want to watch that. You wouldn't want to watch that with me. Let's continue. The blue cross out is Toaster telling Anon about someone else's personal information, including their relationship, family situation, and more. It gets worse when you realize that this person brings up hugging him at a convention, which is a totally normal thing people do when meeting each other for the first time after having a relationship online for a while. The first thing Toaster does is escalate this to cuddling. Where was I? Anna ignores this, so Toaster brings it up again, this time expressing a desire to tell them how pretty they are. So not only is Toaster wanting this person to be vulnerable with them and reassuring and pressuring them to do so, but they're also always interested in them more than a friend, and trying to get them alone together comes off even weird with this in mind. He's a sex pest. Oh god, Milky's experience. Now this is gonna get... This is gonna go wild. This is gonna get absolutely wild. Milky's experience, how it started. In the beginning, EvilToaster often referred to in our communications as Frog or Fork, and I started as friends with a strange dynamic. When we first met one another, we would regularly play Apex every Sunday with each other and stream together often. We would almost always duo and on rare occasion play trios. I had just become a streamer and Apex was one of my very first video games. I had no idea how to play any games, especially on MNK, and he offered to teach me. I thought that he was a wonderful content creator who valued his community, tried his best to spread awareness and inclusivity. I fucking hate the word inclusivity. And just happened to have a rough go of things due to his particular way of communicating and his poor interpersonal skills. Poor is an understatement. Even though he was quirky, I thought he had pure intentions and was simply trying to become close friends and build bonds of friendships and camaraderie with me, which I later found out simply not the case. Well, first of all, you should have dropped the dude when he had the whole Hogwarts Legacy thing. That's the first red flag. Was the first red flag. Let's get it on. Expectations. In the beginning, Frog had told me that I was an unusual existence to him. He had mentioned that it was unusual for him to meet someone who was nice to him and affectionate without needing things in return. On our second conversation ever, he told me that while he didn't have a good read on me, he was overly analytical of me from the beginning. A Discord message from Toaster reading, "Okay, so I'm not gonna lie, I don't have a great read on you, but I'm gonna go out on a limb and say you're a person who would appreciate honesty and being upfront." How are you not? You should probably be upfront first. Especially since you kind of prompted me to talk about things in our first actual conversation, knowing full well there is a can of worms behind the answer to the "how are you" question. So I'm taking that you're someone very interested in people and value connection and communication and just overall being genuine. Does that sound accurate? I don't take it the wrong way. I get overly analytical towards everyone. Just usually I don't tell them what I'm analyzing until like, I don't know, a week. Oh my god. Why are you being analytical about people and then literally telling them? Are you ridiculous? Are you nuts? Why? There's no reason to do this. He informed me on a call and in various ways that he was emotionally distant. He would treat me differently than how he treated his other friends. He informed me he was going through traumas and felt socially distant and isolated. I was unlikely to be able to properly interact with me while figuring out how to connect to people. EvilToaster Discord message. I'm about to pass out on account of only getting 3 hours of sleep last night, so I finally feel ready to just sleep a lot. We'll see if that actually happens. I had a good day. The night was rough, so far as usual, but I'm okay at this moment. I figured I'd let you know. Hope your day is going well. I'll let you know when I wake up. I know you already understand, but I was just thinking more today about how I feel like I'm emotionally jaded at the moment and closed off. I feel bad about it because how much you seem to already be putting in. I would probably feel so happy and cared for any other time knowing myself, but a part of it just feels so oddly follow, and I don't know why. I'm not sure if I felt that way before. It's not anything on you, and again, I know you get it, and that it's not gonna stop you. I just feel like venting about it because it's kind of frustrating. Clearly want to enjoy that kind of care and share the sentiment with you, but I'm just being blocked by things right now. I'm hoping I'll be okay and that I'll be able to feel it the right way. My biggest fear is just that somehow this being the fortunate foundation means I'll never be able. I'm not sure that's a case. That could happen, but it doesn't seem to matter. Anyway, that's just my thoughts right now. For you to have while I sleep harder than I ever have, hopefully. This is kind of like... Also, you may hear my dog in the background. This is kind of like... a lot of words are said, but nothing really is going on. Maybe it's just me. I should probably move down, right? This is what I was reading, right? Yeah, this is what I was reading. He informed me on call and in various ways that he was emotionally distant and would treat me differently than how he treated his other friends. He informed me he was going through traumas and felt felt socially distant and isolated and was unlikely to be able to properly interact with me while figuring out how to connect to people. Oh, I went too far. Sorry. I reread it again. I'm sorry. I would reiterate how he was unable to treat me like he treated others, and how he recognized the way he treated me wasn't what I deserved, but he had no intentions of changing his behavior. Milky, I'll be here for you, for whatever you do and however things play out. I care about you and I hope things get better. EvilToaster, I appreciate that. I'm starting to think you deserve better than even me. Milky, Low, what does that even mean? Like, I think I'm a pretty pog friend, but I think you deserve it better. What are you, yep? Oh my god. He would continually bring up how he was dealing with various things, that he platonic affection, comfort, and kindness. I showed him was desired and appreciated. However, regardless of the choice he brought him, he would still treat me worse than a standard person. I will not read this. Or maybe I will. Prepare. I will speed through this. If I can. EvilToaster. Oh well, good, because here's the deal. I'm generally speaking an open book. The problem is the current chapter of the book really sucks. I'm currently being affected by some long-standing trauma from previous relationships, and also my family being heavily exacerbated by a new traumatic event that has just started to unfold a couple of days ago. Various traumas following, all that stuff kinda hitting all at once. It is a problem because it makes it very difficult to want to connect with people, and currently the very usual outgoing love I have for everyone and my friends is currently faded out. It seems cold to you, though I don't seem to mind. That would be why. On any other day in the last few months or so would have been much more expressive and receptive. But in addition to that, it is also a problem because me knowing just how people work and how I work, generally connections beyond the surface is something I need right now. Really, we all need it all the time, right? That's just how humans are. I'm having the cognitive dissonance between needing it and being afraid of it is stressful. This is just a little guy trauma dumping. This is just trauma dumping. This is in its core just trauma dumping. I'm not going to read all of that. I'm going to skip over this and just believe, because this is an unimportant part. This is just trauma dumping. I'm gonna read what Milky said though. I, in my naivety, just wanted to be supportive of him while he was figuring out how to navigate his emotions. He was good friends with my friends, and if they liked him, then I thought at the time he was surely a good person too. When I got to know him, I know the I got to know him. I know the struggles of trying to form genuine connections to people and the difficulties associated with navigating trauma, and all the time I was alright with him being a little more distant with me while we were new to one another. However, that temporary distance quickly shifted into him treating me far differently than he initially did. Now, let me just go over this. Okay, this is in its core just like being lovey-dovey, so yeah. And it's like, it's just like really, at this point it's really just like treating her differently. I'm gonna believe her though, because a lot of people probably gonna go over this regardless. So yeah, I'm gonna read the white text. Frog has a tendency to invalidate the thoughts and feelings of those expressing a different opinion than his own. In this situation, I've seen tweets from him. Yeah, he does that. In this situation, as so many others, he had complained about feeling like he didn't matter to anyone and that he was just being used by others. There was a VTuber show in which he and mutual friends were both on the show, and he felt the people invited to the show weren't actually his friends, and it unfairly balanced the show. In his mutual favor, he expressed that people never reach out to him on the show, but not privately. Wait. Never reach out to him, and how they will talk to him on the show, but not privately. If people, in the end of the day, this is kind of your job, so it makes sense how, yeah, people wouldn't reach out to you. Look, I don't know who was on the show or what happened, but like, if people want to reach out, they will. We can't make them, and we really can't change how they are. So this is just him complaining about. If we're going over this is just him complaining about what he, that he's essentially, complaining about not people wanting to reach out to him. Toaster responding to that. What? Milky responding what? That Toaster, that assessment was something. It was something. How's your day? Well, I mean, like, I have problems with that. Milky, it's the way I view interactions like that usually. I thankfully don't have those since people want to interact with me, and me do not. It's just yapping about how he just complains about how people would not interact with him. Skip, we're skipping that. I don't want to waste your time with this. We're reading the white text. He would constantly tell me about how he had difficulties connecting to others, while all the while expressing that his own distance stemmed from a lack of feeling cared for and loved by others. If someone did care for him, it would cause him to grow distance, and it confused him. This sounds woman moment. Is he a woman? Yeah, just more yapping, more proof. While struggling to accept platonic, and I do stress purely platonic relationship, he would constantly complain about the lack of love and affection in his life, and how lonely he was while making often inappropriate comments. Now this is interesting. How are you feeling? Stressed? What's on your mind? Goals or girls? Girls. I think I am lonely. Okay. Now, not terribly weird, just like off, kind of. I would express his desire to be affectionate with me, that I would deflect and ignore. Woo, I'm still in bed. I gotta get up. I don't wanna yet. You're exhausted. Come nap with me. Milky, I have a small headache, but I crawl into bed. I need to go cook. What would I eat? PB, banana smoothie, salad, and seared chicken or tuna. Wait, that all sounds good. Milky started a call that lasted a few seconds. Answer, I can't yet. I miss you. I miss you too, but I gotta get out of bed. Because you won't get in it. Sex pest. I want you to lay down with me and I can play with... Motherfucker. Oh my god, what are these? Thank you. Lol, you don't need to thank me, ever. Would you come cuddle and make out with me? Would you come cuddle and make out with me before bed? I gotta release the oxytocin. Is this the right drug? Are you expecting I'm like half aware, so I'ma pass out? Good night, cutie. It's a hormone. Frog emoji. Oh my god. I'm forgetting to like scroll because this is getting me like Jesus Christ. What am I even reading? There's more. You don't have to answer if you don't want to, but it seems like you crave love and affection and intimacy in your life. What do you feel like you're doing, or what's different about you these other people that allows them to have it, but keeps you from having it? Literally no clue, other than being in the right place at the right time, I guess. No, you're being a sex pest. And fetishizing autism and ADHD. Other than constantly expressing his desire for love and intimacy, he would also express his perception of where he would continually put himself in situations where he would be experiencing negative emotions just to feel the comfort of it, and wouldn't try to change the situation he would end up in, even if they were hurting others like myself. This is Helsinger, okay. EvilToaster, yes, and then posting Helsinger OST. A fun song, cause, okay, and the idea of feeling like those awful feelings and situations as a familiar. Okay, so he just puts himself into bad moods. He's still talking to the voices, shit so. Another example of him craving more intimacy and love is how cyclical this was for him. Do you want to watch it together sometime? If you're down to rewatch it, I'm bad at rewatching, so I get it. If you don't want to, maybe. This whole Google document is just a mentally unstable person doing mentally unstable things. Maybe I may be weird because literally just started rewatching it with the woman who just closed me off from romance a few days ago, which caused my current spiral of pain and agony. Which now I don't know if we'll continue it or if we do. I would often discuss his desire for women and his lack of an outlet for expressing his longing and affection. I'm proud of you, Milky says. EvilToaster, thank you. I wonder how much the pain is specifically not having blank around to be my comfort and outlet of affection, and how much of the pain is just not having any outlet at all. Not to mention the fact of just like having her for a moment and then not. Desire just subsided by another stronger desire after the first was satisfied. The feeling going from not knowing what you wanted before and not having such painful longing, then after experiencing it for a short time, then having to go on longing for more, even though it is just a lonely dude. This is just a lonely dude. This is just a lonely dude. This is just a lonely man doing lonely things. We are more than halfway through. He would often discuss his desire. Along his expressing his generalized. I'm having a stroke. Along with expressing his generalized desire for affection and intimacy with women, he would make mildly suggestive comments about wanting to have more with me. Okay, a clip. And then him saying, I had a day filled with talking to some friends about the struggles in the relationships and self-worth. They went really well, and I shared a lot of perspective that made them realize things that helped them stop hating themselves for things that are in their fault, and how to communicate with their partner in a way that respects themselves and have a healthier situation. And after that, I was just like, how I would be a greater partner in a relationship. Okay. After I made a comment about how I appreciate this relationship, he made a suggestive comment, insinuating he would be open to almost anything with me, which at the time I thought meant was to be taken in a purely platonic way. However, through the conversation about me and screenshots regarding me and the rest of this doc, I've learned that those was not the case, apparently. Wait. Here. I've learned was not his intention. Milky. Frog, guess what? What? It's not that you're cute. You are, but it's not it, lol. I decided something. A fish emoji. I decided I love you. I mean, you mean a lot to me, and platonically, you're fucking special. And cool, and I adore you. You're fun and capable and smart, and I appreciate many aspects of you. You make me happy to be around, and I feel extremely comfortable around you. You're a wonderful person, and I'm happy to have you in my life. I love you, man. This is when I say women are so easy to manipulate because you can appeal to their like affectionate side a lot more. Like a lot of women are like that, unfortunately. I wish a lot more women would learn that this is sometimes can be very abused. I would often reiterate that the affection I showed him was purely platonic, and that could not be misconstrued in the slightest way. Toaster, sorry, I get to reply as I was getting ready for bed, freaking out over being on time for the event. I'm grateful you feel that way, and wait to me though. I'll do my best to handle how you feel with care and not hurt you not hurt you and all that. You've been a refreshing experience to me, and I appreciate many aspects of you as well. I too feel comfortable with you and would probably be down in almost anything with you. Oh my god. You think the current moment, my intention is being pulled to many directions, so I don't know if I can give you the same focus as you may deserve, but I'm sure you're understanding of that. Yeah, it's not sweat to me, Milky. I don't give affection for the sake of receiving it back, as it is, you know. I'm here to do whatever, Lo. I appreciate you and I hope tomorrow goes well, cutie. I'm proud of you. I'm gonna say something that a lot of people will strike a nerve with a lot of people. Things like cutie should be reserved for intimate relationships. This is not necessarily, I would say, making sure that it was purely platonic. Because cutie usually is not used in a platonic way, aside from like girlies, but aside like from like between girls, but aside from that, that's not the case. His affection and attitude towards me would shift between being warm and affectionate and making mildly inappropriate remarks towards me, to being cold, analytical, and sometimes even downright mean. While this screenshot is not inherently concerning, this was one of my most traumatic interactions with Frog. He was well versed and in tech support and would often help his friends with their routing systems and other tech things. I reached out to him to help me and he was horribly condescending. We got into a voice call and he had me share my screen and explain to him what was wrong. Explain to him what was wrong with my OBS. I'm not tech savvy, and while I struggled to find the words for what was wrong, every time he would express what it would be like compressing, for example, he would have me Google compression, and actively compression. God damn it! And actively read the definition aloud to him, and he would ask me if that was what I meant, and if it was, he would then have me try to Google how to fix it, even though I had already elaborated that I had. Motherfucker. This is really weird behavior. So we clicked through the guides, and I had already read, and he had me read them aloud while questioning me in a berating and belittling way. He infantilized you. I expressed to him I wasn't aware of how to fix it, and that this method of me reading aloud what I had already read wasn't helping. He was incredibly condescending, was demeaning to me. He eventually helped me figure out how to adjust the numbers in OBS after I started crying when he was telling me how easy it was and how I should be able to figure it out. Throughout all this, he was just so horrible to me. And more screenshots. Let me read those because it's a lot shorter. Let's go. I couldn't figure out the filters in OBS. I'm having a blast in Apex LOL. Gain and compressor. Yeah, but like how to add them, but I don't know what to adjust them to. Like putting them in is fine. I'm not sure what to put the numbers as, and I know I have to adjust them, but I'm not sure how to gauge the numbers to adjust. Well, you know what? The end goal is right. To be honest, I'm not sure, just so people aren't too soft or loud. Yes, that's the goal. To make quieter voices louder and louder voices quieter. Well, yeah, but I don't know how to move the numbers so they reach that. Compression. What do you normally do when you're at this point with figuring something out you don't understand yet? I tried Googling it and it didn't make sense. Either say I'll never know this mystery in life, or I asked someone else, would you mind helping me with filters if you get a moment? So he essentially treated her like shit over something like this. Because she didn't know. What a weird motherfucker. Lastly, I want to elaborate on something that has come to my attention through the creation of this document. I have never and would never take a romantic or sexual interest in Frog. Again, some things like calling him cutie may have sent the wrong message. I am a very affectionate person to all my friends. Maybe you should be less affectionate. Friends, community, and people I meet. Terms of endearment are not unusual for me, and the affection I express in the same affection is the same affection I express to everyone. You should not express the same affection to everyone, because not everyone takes the expression the same. Takes the affection the same. The message I have sent using positive terms are the same terms I use for everyone. I could never be taken as anything beyond platonic, since it was well known to EvilToaster that I communicated to everyone this way, unliterally. So that's the word. The problem being is that not everyone takes that affection as your friends. Not everyone takes the same affection, the same. That's just not the case. So I do have to kind of point out this mistake here. You should not treat everyone with the same affection. You cannot treat everyone with the same affection. This just does not work, because what you say is usually not what reaches the person. There is a difference in what is said and what is understood. I think it's important to learn that. Throughout our entire history and every interaction, I have been nothing but purely platonic and tried to act in the most sincere way towards them. All I wanted from them was a genuine friendship where I would be supportive and kind towards them, without anything more. Our shower call was a regular occurrence between myself and my friends. I have a large shower where part of it will always be dry, thus it is normal for me to be on call while showering, just being silly with how hard it is to hear one another and laugh about the echo. I feel like showering while somebody else is listening is weird if they're not your partner, but you do you, I guess. No cams were on, there was never anything lewd or sexual on my part, and all the suggestive comments at the time, I took a simple playfulness from someone who didn't know how to properly communicate affections. Again, not everything what is said is understood the way it is said. There's a difference between what is meant and what is said. And I thought it was him trying to open up to me. It is absolutely appalling to me to see how misconstrued our dynamic to others, and how he suggested the possibilities of more with me. While treating me so coldly and horribly, he alluded to such a different dynamic to others. Again, this is a lot of like core issue being what was said and was understood, because the meaning and again, the meaning of what was said and what was said in a like bare bones way is not the same. It's important to understand this. In hindsight, it is such a shame it took so much for me to distance myself from him, and that I allowed him to treat me this way for as long as he did. In my last year of VTubing, I've come to respect myself far more, and I would never let this happen again. Through this document and sharing my experiences, I hope that others won't be put through the experiences I was. I hope they can love themselves enough to know their worth and not be treated this way while trying to build such one-sided friendship, while being sexualized, used for inflating egos, and demeaned. While these experiences are my own, I know many friends who have similar and grossly uncanny experiences with EvilToaster who were uncomfortable coming forward due to his influence. Again, if you have bad experience with him, come forward. If you don't want to make it like public, reach out to somebody like Kirsche, reach out to these people probably in the document, reach out to the people I mentioned in the beginning of the video, reach out to these. Sienna's note. I do want to say that Milky tried her absolute hardest to be a good friend. To Toaster, I believe she went above and beyond to make him feel cared for. There were and are a lot of people that tried to be friends with Toaster. I doubt that, to be fair. And good ones at that, but that doesn't stop him from making tweets like these, so you have to ask yourself, what is he really searching for? Is it platonic intimacy, or is it to be one of the girls, or is it something more than that? He's a sex pest, and he fetishizes autistic people, neurodivergent people. This is one of the weirdest motherfuckers I have ever encountered in this community, and I hope he gets exiled from this. This is ridiculous. Tweets. I can't handle this anymore, man. I'm so tired of being the person that gets my friends to stop being so terrified of my other friends just for them all to start being better friends without me and do nothing to include me. I'm literally guarding everyone to the thing I can't have. I wonder why. With this kind of behavior, every convention is another reminder I'm not part of the girlies. Oh, we had that before. We had that. We had that in the beginning. One time I actually checked on, and no joke, less than 5% of VTubers in my friends list have online enabled. The status means nothing to me anymore. Crazy thing is I still don't get DM'd ever, even with a green light inputting please DM me in my status, so it doubly means nothing. Doubly means nothing. I'm gonna drop something. People are very busy. I think Kirsche alluded to this, like, she was, I think, scared to reach out to Pippa, and she thought Pippa hated her, because, like, her anxiety kicked in. Problem was, Pippa is just really bad at responding to DMs, and, she's just really busy. Your friends do care about you, they just don't have the time, a lot of time. Some of them might be really bad at reading DMs. And then this was to respond to any tweet, it doesn't matter, really matter. Kisa's Red Song 01's note. Hello, my name is Kaisa, always known as Red Song 01. To most, I was an active Apex VTuber in the scene. To others, I'm a villain that sided with EvilToaster's abuse in an experience he continued and continues to share, which at this point has been proven several times false / a mischaracterization of events plus my persona. Oh my god. I share my thoughts and screenshots not to take light from those with more severe recounts, but to supplement and validate the consistency of his actions when interacting with others, primarily those of femi representation, women. I did not have a direct boundary events with Toaster, but I witnessed how he spoke about others, misconstructing events, denied being wrong, diagnosing others with AD, autism and ADHD, etc., and how he ignored my advice regarding said things. It wasn't until he realized I could not be manipulated / commanded to his will that he had all the issues with me. So while I didn't face the brunt of his uncomfortable behavior, I did find my experience in the VTuber community directly affected by him. Because I did not drop someone he fell out with, Toaster branded me as someone who sides with abuse / sympathizes with abuse. Sympathizes with abusers. For a time I had genuine anxiety when venturing into new VTubing spaces, and occasion broke down under the weight. The idea of being ostracized by career stifle killed because a person of Toaster's high standing was heavily mischaracterizing me, damaged my mental health, and I know he spoke about me because I've had several people tell me they initially avoided me because of Toaster. Well, after I'd broken ties with him, I'd like to reiterate that I had nothing to do with his events, and the only thing I did wrong was that I didn't do what he asked at the drop of a hat. To conclude, Toaster hasn't been the most truthful, whether out of ignorance or malice. Especially if it is, definitely malice, especially if it's for their own gains. They believe their thoughts and words stand true. Anything that doesn't align with them are stupid / false and aren't worth their time. Listen to what those affected have said, believe their feelings, anxiety, and pressure to be true, and support not only those that spoke up about Toaster, but those that still feel what they could say should they speak against them. And then more Discord messages. Holy yap. I'm not gonna read. Too bad I'm not reading all that. You can read it for yourself. I'm gonna go slowly over that so you can, you know, try and read it. I mean, the document is live, so I'm gonna link it so you can read these for yourself. But it's just him yapping. Sienna's note. I think Kaiser said something incredibly important here, and I would like to highlight it for those reading. No one who matters at least treats you differently based on your presented male gender. They act differently because you refuse to respect where everyone's boundaries lie. I hope that this document acts as evidence to this, and Toaster finally realizes why people find him problematic and reflects to the point where he can stop disrespecting people and preying on women within the space. He should not reflect, he should leave. This is the end of his career, hopefully. And again, yes, they treat him different because of his gender. You are treated different because of it. He is treated because of his gender. But also because he's weird. Wait, I need to get back. Anon 2's experience. The below screenshots are another instance in which EvilToaster pushed someone's boundaries. Anon 2 was part of a friend group which included Toaster and friend, except they came into disagreement with each other and were not speaking terms at this time. Okay, let's continue this document. Okay, so Anon 2 was part of a friend group which included Toaster and friend. Okay, I already read that. By the way, I already read that, I think. Wait, did I? I think I stopped at this. Anon 2 didn't feel like the need to take sides. Toaster knew that they still were in contact with each other and knew that the friend would visit Anon 2's streams and tried to control that aspect. Okay. This guy is a really weird. Let's read the Discord messages because we need to get over these. Because this is new stuff. The other things were just yapping, but this is not yapping. EvilToaster responds, "Didn't you tell her not to come? I tried to not to shout her out. Gonna talk to her again. But you told her not to come, right? Like, what did you say exactly? This is so weird. Try to keep it civil. But I guess her sub thing happened. What? No, what did you tell her before stream? To keep it civil, I give some space. Gonna talk to her again, but not coming in when you're here. Sorry, Toasty. What? You told me wait, you told me you told her not to come. Did you just not? Yeah, I'ma talk to her. If it was communicated properly, though worried I'm bad at the communication part. What did you say exactly to her? I called her. Did you say the words "do not come into stream" and told her the same thing? Yeah, just to respect each other and be civil too. But you told her not to show up at all, right? How often does he want to, like, say that over and over again? This is just him being controlling of the stream. I don't think we have to go over this. This is very clear and obvious what he is doing here. We can move on. Like, we can read the note. This is very obvious what he's trying to do. Like, look at this. Wait. Here. He even, like, requests to ban whoever was entering the stream. This is just like, yeah, and even like the red notes controlling who comes to the stream, telling them what they do and how to feel. Note. Let's read the note. There's a third Anon, even. Jesus. There's more backstory to Anon 2's experience with EvilToaster, and it took almost 2 years of distancing and healing. They honestly were surprised to know that they weren't the only one to have these types of conversations with him, mostly due to the fact that they were terrified of what EvilToaster's connections could do to the Anon 2 being a smaller VTuber. Yeah, this is why I'm happy not to be a Twitch streamer, thank you. Then another screenshot. Well, listen along. You're autistic as heck. What the fuck? Again, this weird obsession with people being neurodivergent. He's fetishizing this, absolutely. This is also another experience where Toaster pushed an autism diagnosis on someone who wanted nothing to do with one and knows they are not autistic. Like I said, it's very much, he's fetishizing this. You can absolutely tell that he is. And in 3's experience, unfortunately this person was unable to get photo evidence, but they do say. Let's read that. Oh yeah, I was a little weirded out by him at some point. If we can keep this anonymous, this is my side of the story, and I believe probably many felt the same way. I felt guilt-tripped into playing and hanging out with them, especially when they confront me for not including them in a collab and such. Oh yeah? This is not far-fetched considering everything else in this document, where Toaster continuously pushes people, guilt-trips them, and blames them for not accommodating him. Okay, Sheffy's experience, and then, yeah, and then the conclusion. Let's go. Let's do this. Sheffy's experience. Sheffy hosted a collab, and one of the people invited was EvilToaster. EvilToaster started the collab by putting off one of the people there, as evident below. This is some Marina type level shit, first of all, and second of all, how did this take so long? How did this took essentially 2 years to find that out? That is new. Okay, we have Discord messages. Blank, I do not know them personally, but we met through blank. What happened? The vibes were a little off, but I wasn't sure if I was interpreting it. Chevy, nah, devs were. He was like basically trying to humiliate me, so I thought I'd tell you what happened so you can avoid him. I stopped talking that last half because I was crying the whole time. So he attempted to humiliate her? Okay, that's wild. Yeah, I kind of felt weird because he asked for a fun fact. I said I was allergic to fruit and he said that I wasn't very fun, and I'm like, oh, okay. I wasn't sure what they say or how to interact, okay? And for what Sheffy personally experienced, you can listen to Sheffy's experience here. I'm not gonna do that. We're just gonna read this document, because this video is long enough as it already is. Sheffy makes a joke about short people being psychotic, specifically because someone sent her a news broadcast with a study saying so, and it was directed towards Kelly, her friend. This is a joke that's common between the two, but also common for both of their communities. Even Kelly's mods, Geoff, comments on Kelly's height and says she is psychotic, but it's obviously accepted by both Kelly and her community. It's clear that Sheffy meant no disrespect by saying this joke, and no disrespect was taken except for by Toaster. Whether or not the joke was not Toaster's cup of tea, it's the fact that he continues to press Sheffy after the joke is already passed. This is life with multiple people streaming. The person this joke is addressed to is laughing while Toaster believes Sheffy is the one laughing. It's actually Kelly, the person the joke involves, thinks it's funny and no one else seemed to have a problem. But even if Toaster felt the need to police Sheffy's humor, he could have done so after the collab in private. Instead, he humiliated her in front of numerous people. The other thing to note is that Sheffy stops joking around almost immediately once she realizes Toaster is actually upset. At first she was confused because Toaster wasn't actually telling her to stop, he just said hello, ? Which can mean anything. He says, why are you sharing that? With a slight chuckle, so Sheffy thinks he's genuinely asking and joking around. She says, because it's true, after this, it's clear Toaster is upset. The person laughing is Kelly, but Toaster continues to press Sheffy even though it's been a minute since the jokes even been made. Mental illness jokes abound in the VTubing community, which Toaster has commented on before to me. We will read this. I used to tweet opinions, but more but it's more difficult in this space, especially since a lot of my opinions would easily be seen as an attack on other people in the scene, like a rampant ableism in VTuber humor, for example. What kind of humor? Like, what specifically is common to say? Things like making joke of PTSD, OCD, etc. I see people make shitso jokes, because especially about you now, because you are absolutely listening to the voices in your head, or jokes about hearing voices. Triggered humor, obviously, it's very, very common in this scene and kind of just observed as degenerate humor. Guys, 3 more pages. We got this. It's interesting that he doesn't want to bring this up publicly because he knows it can be seen as an attack to a good portion of the VTubing community, but has no problem publicly humiliating a smaller streamer live. Despite this, Sheffy apologized immediately during the collab. Yeah, okay, then this is just Sheffy being, just apologizing, and he, like, complaining again. We don't need to read that. Sheffy immediately apologizes to Toaster, who did not accept the apology. Yeah. Funny how people who are not, like, involved need an apology. And took the opportunity to question a friend group as well. It says a lot about Sheffy to apologize to someone who is upset about a joke that wasn't directed at them. It says that she has no backbone, actually, because why would you apologize to someone who's offended? I'll be offended on your behalf. Why would you apologize to somebody like that? And also held no ill intent. It's funny that he brings up her friend group when they share mutual friends with the same humor, but those friends are in higher positions of power due to a larger following, so I guess that's why Toaster never said anything about them making similar / the same jokes as Sheffy did. That's very funny. Now, another Discord message. Yeah, it's past my bedtime since he was late, then we started even later. This is Sheffy. Then blank Aoki, sorry. Okay, this is really nothing. This really is, like, not that pointful. This had an effect on Sheffy, where in the moment she wanted to leave her own collab and was crying while streaming, but even more than that, she suffered from self-doubt and was nervous to reach out to anyone in the VTuber scene after dealing with this so publicly. And then we have the conclusion. We'll read that. Conclusion. I'm sorry that this document was necessary. I've held on to so much Toaster has personally done to me that is not even included in this document. Oh god, there could be even more. Because regardless of how Toaster's hurt me on a personal level, it is much more important to disclose how he continues to disrespect women's boundaries within this space, controls people and uses his status with the community to continuously get away with things. I held onto this for about 2 years now, but I realized that Toaster can ignore public outrage. He will always ignore private outrage. Well, he can. Okay. The hope for this document is that those reading it who have negative experience with Toaster, please reach out, that might be too scared finally know at least some people are speaking out about him. It's to reassure those people that no, you aren't overthinking this. He does invade personal boundaries, he is controlling, he is manipulative, he is creepy towards women, especially those who do not have a platform similar to his own. Above all, this behavior is incredibly recent and is documented up until last month. Funny how this is way more documented than the Tiger situation. I hope Toaster can understand that when multiple friends part ways with you, when groups of people avoid you, it is because you are the problem, no one is out to get you because XYZ said so. You may talk about people and warn others away from them, but no boogeyman is keeping people from talking to you, collabing with you, or anything of the sort. It is not because you are perceived as a man, partially it is, but because you disrespect people. It's boundaries, which is true, time and time again, until their only opinion is distance. I don't believe Toaster will apologize. I don't even know if this document will provoke any, in my opinion, necessary repercussions, but I do know that I and many others have spoken the truth and tried our best to get him to realize his mistakes and fix his behavior going forward, or at least console the people who have been doubting themselves with their experiences. I thank everyone who has come forward and helped me create this doc, and I thank people who could not speak out in concern of this for their safety, but told me personally their stories and helped me get a better picture of what's been going on behind the scenes these past 3 years. So in conclusion, this dude is fetishizing neurodivergency. He is controlling. He's very creepy towards women. He's essentially a sex pest if you look up the definition of a sex pest, which is pushing intimate acts onto others without their consent. He also forces people he bends people to his will because he is in a position of power, which means he abuses his power. And he pushed the knock feature on Twitch, which means he would probably abuse that system if needed. Because remember, if a Twitch staff would knock, you'd probably be scared and will probably answer. Yeah. This is the entire document about EvilToaster, who is actually truly evil. Funny how the name makes sense now. Anyways, guys, let me tell me what you think about the situation, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care, guys.